Hi everybody, welcome back. This is our second video in a series for University City Schools Watch, and we are producing a series of videos that will help you better understand the governance of the school district and how you can find information to help you stay informed and make better decisions, or even ask questions when you go visit your child's school. So today we are going to kind of review a little bit about BoardDocs. And then show you how some other schools use this really important tool to help keep families and stakeholders involved. All right, so let's get started. The UCity Schools Watch group has on their Facebook page, I have it up here, the first part in this series on how to use BoardDocs for Board of Education meeting, and that talks about the basics of how to access BoardDocs, what it can do, and they have that video still posted on their Facebook page, so you can navigate on over to UCity Schools Watch to their Facebook page and scroll down and find part 1 in this series. But for our purposes, we want to use this video today to show how different schools use BoardDocs to share important information with families and stakeholders, and we're going to look at how they share information about personnel issues. There's probably no bigger issue than personnel in a school district. That's where the majority of the budget is spent on hiring staff. So we wanted to take a look at some districts and see how they compare with the school district of University City in sharing information in BoardDocs about personnel decisions. So we're going to look at Hazelwood School District, we'll look at the Clayton schools, and we'll take a look at Parkway School District and see how these schools stack up to University City. So we want to navigate, I'll show you a shortcut. In the address bar, if you want to find BoardDocs quickly, just type in, let's say, Hazelwood School District BoardDocs. Okay, and there it is. BoardDocs, Hazelwood, Board, and you know you're in the right place. So let's just click on there, and it's going to load BoardDocs for us. And again, BoardDocs looks the same no matter what school district you're in. The featured information, meetings, policies, library, and search. So again, Hazelwood School District, and we want meetings. So let's click on the Meetings tab, and we'll find a Board of Education meeting. We'll go July 19th. How about that? When you click on that meeting, you'll over to the right see the agenda, the opportunity to view the agenda or to print the agenda. We want to view the agenda. So what we are looking for, you go to the left, the agenda is pulled down into the left. You'll see all the various sections of the agenda just as though you were at the meeting. Open session, regular meeting, items for attention. But we want approval of personnel items. So let's take a look at how Hazelwood School District presents items to the board and shares that information in the public form of BoardDocs. Okay, so Hazelwood School District, these are items that were submitted to the Board of Education for approval. If you will look, one of the things I like about them is this little asterisk here shows you whether or not these students are Hazelwood School District graduates. So they make a conscientious effort to find and identify those employees who are graduates of the school district. I think that's pretty cool. So if you look at their document, it's 2017-18 school year. These are teachers that they have just recently hired. So you will have the name of the person, you will have their degree, it tells you where they're assigned, what school they'll be working in, it tells you their years of experience, their education. It also talks about their salary and their contract signed. So you will see a very thorough and detailed document from Hazelwood School District in terms of personnel that they are recommending to the board for approval. Teachers, administrator salaries, information about their work, what they're going to be doing. So you have people who have resigned, that information is in there. You will have information about the date they submitted their resignation, which is right here, and the assignment or building they were in. So it's very thorough, very detailed. If you'll scroll down, you'll see a lot of detail about who they are hiring. Everything from where these people will be working, what their salary is, whether they are new hires or reclassifications, and not just for teachers. You'll see things over here. Look for support staff. So if you have people who are resigning, maybe they're bus drivers or cafeteria aides. So it's not just teachers. You have the entire spectrum of employees being recommended to the board, and that information is presented in a very detailed fashion by the Hazelwood School District staff for presentation to the Board of Education. We can also take a look at Clayton. So let's take a look at the Clayton School District, and we want to go to their BoardDocs. So we have Board of Education, BoardDocs, and again, same screen, same layout, your welcome, your meetings, policy, library, search. Okay? So we want to go to meetings, and let's see if we can find an active or recent Board of Education meeting. Here's one, let's see. They have in their meetings, they put all of, whether it's a regular meeting, you can see it's a retreat here, so there'll be information in there about a retreat that the board had. They have information about executive session, and so we want to go down and find a Board of Education meeting. There's one for June 7th. So if you click on the June 7th meeting, Board of Education meeting, tells you when it was, where it was, and again, the options to view the agenda, print the agenda, and even view the minutes. So let's click on View the Agenda, and again, to your left, you will see all of the agenda items, all of the things that are going to be discussed at that meeting. And just as a refresher, when there are attachments for you to review, you will see this little icon that has like these 2 sheets of paper. That is an icon that shows you that there is an attachment and that there is additional information. So let's see if we can find some personnel issues from this meeting. So if you look over at the agenda, number 5, action items, you have personnel. And under personnel, there are some attachments here. So let's go and see what we can see for Clayton School District. And when you pull it up, again on the right-hand side, the panel is going to have more detailed information. And here they have recommendations to the board for certificated staff, classified staff, other professional staff, part-time temporary employment, and even substitutes. And they have links for all of these recommendations and the information. And they also have it attached down at the bottom. So you can see it either way, if you prefer to look at it through a link, or if you prefer to just click on the attachment. So let's take a look at some certificated staff employment. And typically these are going to be teachers. So the school district in Clayton has recommended to the board a list of employees. And if you look at their document, again, it tells you the name of the person, the position. In this case, this person is going to be a PE and health teacher at Clayton High School. It has information about this person's educational background here. It also has a brief little summary that says a little bit, gives you a little bit more detail about this person. This individual had 2 years at Oakville High School and worked as a health teacher in Addison, Illinois, and brings a total of 6 years teaching experience in the district. So there's a little bit of narrative that goes with that. Also, it shows that this is a full-time person. It shows the channel and the step. Again, that relates to salary information. The person has a master's degree. They'll earn their salary here, $56,000, and the effective date of their hire. So if you go down, you will see all of that information made available to the board members in their packets, but also made available to the public through BoardDocs. And I think it's really critical that people have information about the teachers, the administrators, the executive staff that is being hired. So the school district of Clayton has a very thorough presentation of their candidates' personnel items for approval by the Board of Education, just as does Hazelwood School District. There's one more thing that I want to show you on Clayton that I think is really neat. If you'll look in their attachments, there is a little thing that looks like a megaphone. And if you will click on this, what this is actually an audio of their school board meeting. So not only do you have the agenda over here with attachments, you also have audio embedded under each section in the BoardDocs. So if you want to just listen to the conversation, you can click on there and you can have an audio record of that particular board discussion. So I think that was really good about the school district of Clayton. Okay, so now that we've had the opportunity to look at both Hazelwood School District and Clayton schools to see how they share information about personnel decisions in BoardDocs, let's take a look at Parkway School District. So if you'll follow me on your screen, we have already logged into Parkway's BoardDocs. If you look up in the address window, you'll see we're already there. We're already in Parkway. And they have an agenda item for personnel items from the August 23rd, 2017 meeting. So let's click on that. And the detail shows us that it's an action item. Amy Joyce, who is the Chief Human Resources Officer, has requested approval of personnel items presented to the board at that regular Board of Education meeting. And if we see that there's an attachment, actually there are two. So if we click on the attachment, it'll tell us, bring us up to the document that is presented in the board packet and that is available for the public to review. So they have a chart here that shows their certified personnel, their teachers and whatnot that are up for board approval. Again, it gives the name, it tells you the location where this person will be, it tells you what grade or what position they'll be working in. This one shows whether or not they have had previous experience in the Parkway School District, so I think that's really good. It tells you also what degree they have, what channel and step they are. Again, that relates to salary. And then it gives you their actual salary and whether they are full-time, half-time, and a reason key. I like the reason key. If you look down here, if you'll follow here, the reason key definitions are down here. Whether it was an additional allocation for 1 year only, part-time probationary, if they're replacing someone. So there's a reason key. I like that about Parkway schools. So if you move down, you'll also see that they have done the same thing for non-certified staff who are recommended for employment. And again, the reason key, replacing certain people, whether people are retiring. And then if you move on down, so you'll see operations in various departments. You will see those people who are recommended for reemployment. And you will see people who are recommended for assignment changes. So again, a very thorough presentation from the Parkway School District of the personnel items that the board is being asked to approve. You even have things in Parkway if someone is recommended to move from one pay level to another. That's also included in their packet and in their information to the board. It tells you who it is, what location, what their contracted salary currently is, what their adjusted salary will be, and the channel change. So very detailed information from the Parkway School District. So we've taken a look at Hazelwood, we've had a look at Clayton, We've had a look at Parkway. So next we'll take a look at the School District of University City and see how they share information. All right, so we know we are in the School District of University City's board docs because if you look up here to the left, there's their logo and the address. We are at the August 17th board meeting. And if you go to the left, under Superintendent's Reports and Recommendations, we have a recommendation to approve highly qualified staff. So if we click on that, that's going to bring up the agenda item details right here. So August 17th, regular Board of Education meeting. This is the superintendent's report and or recommendation. That's how the School District of University City does their personnel agenda item. It is a recommendation by the superintendent of schools. It's an action agenda item. You'll see that there. And the recommended action, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the personnel items as presented by the superintendent or the superintendent designee. In this case, this will be presented by Dr. Tiffany Slater. She's the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, and she's presenting highly qualified staff recommendations for the board's approval. And you can see in this agenda detailed item, there are no attachments. So if you go back over here to the left, look, 8.01, highly qualified staff recommendations. There are no attachments here. Remember, attachments will have this particular icon so that you can see that there's something there for you in Board Docs to have a look at additional information. Highly qualified staff recommendations. You look at the agenda item detail. There is no detail for this particular agenda item. So, what information do you have here? You have that information was presented to the board. There was a motion. In this case, it was motioned by Joanne Suda and seconded by one of the newest board members, Chelsea Addison, that the Board of Education approve those recommendations made by Dr. Slater. Now, just because you don't see them here in Board Docs does not mean that the Board of Education is simply voting on things that they have not seen. The information that you would normally see, that you have seen in Hazelwood and that you have seen in the case of Clayton, in the board packets available to the public, that information is also available in University City. It is just not available in Board Docs. If you want to see that information, you will have to submit a Freedom of Information or a Sunshine Act, not a Freedom of Information. You will have to submit a Sunshine request. That is public information, but it is an official request from you to see the information that was presented on August 17th for those highly qualified staff recommendations. So it does require you to take an additional step. There are a number of school districts who, as you have seen, just put that information into their board packets because it is public information, but there are others who don't, as in the case of University City. And if you want to know any new teachers being hired, any resignations, anybody being promoted, any terminations or separations from the district, if you want to know any of that information about any of the teachers in any of the building or any of the support staff or any of the other staff, you are going to have to submit a written request to the district for that information. And that is how you find information in Board Docs about personnel, hiring, separations, anything you want to know about personnel issues is available in Board Docs or available in the case of the School District of University City, is available to you if you put in the request. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you can see that Board Docs is a very effective tool at sharing information and providing many resources for parents and other stakeholders who want to have a better understanding of how their school district is run and how the Board of Education functions. So we'll continue to share these videos through the University City Schools Watch, and if you have a question or if there's something you would like for us to explain or try to get an answer to, hop on over to the U City Schools Watch page and post your question there. and we'll get on it. So thank you again, and we'll be back with another video very soon.